Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
Good evening. Welcome to MasoodAzhar Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 2nd of May. India gears up as cyclone churns towards eastern coast. UN designates JEM chief MasoodAzhar as global terrorist. An Afghan special envoy calls on Taliban to listen to Jirga delegates. And now for all the details. India evacuated more than 200,000 people along its eastern coastline on Thursday ahead of a severe cyclone expected to make landfall on Friday. Elaborate plans have been chalked out by authorities to ensure minimum impact.
India evacuated more than 200,000 people along its eastern coastline by boats, buses and trains on Thursday ahead of a severe cyclone due to make landfall on Friday. Severe cyclonic storm Fani by afternoon was lying in the Bay of Bengal about 260 miles south-southwest of the Hindu temple town of Puri, where special trains and buses were put on to evacuate tourists and the beaches were emptied. In total, about 800,000 people are expected to be evacuated from low-lying areas of the eastern province of Odisha to cyclone shelters, schools and other buildings, authorities said.
हम 4 दिन रुकने वाले थे लेकिन रात 9:30-10 बजे आए हम लेकिन सुबह बहुत जल्दी दर्शन करके चल दिए इनका कहा उन्होंने बजाई कहा भाई यहाँ खाली करिए तो थोड़ा परेशानी है साइक्लोन वगैरह की तो उन्होंने कहा जाइए तो
Cyclone Fani was generating maximum sustained winds of 105 to 111 miles per hour, the Indian Meteorological Department said. The National Disaster Response Force or NDRF has sent 50 teams across India's 4 coastal provinces. 32 teams equipped with boats, tree cutters, medical supplies, telecoms gear and other equipment have also been put on standby. India's cyclone season can last from April to December, when severe storms batter coastal cities and cause widespread deaths and damage to crops and property.
The United Nations Security Council on Wednesday designated MasoodAzhar, the chief of Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed or JEM terror group, as a global terrorist. JEM had claimed responsibility for a suicide bombing in February, which killed at least 40 Indian security personnel in India's Jammu and Kashmir.
A UN Security Council committee on Wednesday blacklisted MasoodAzhar, the head of Pakistan-based terror group Jaish-e-Mohammed or JEM, after China dropped its long-held obstruction of the move. The United States, Britain and France had initially asked the Security Council's Islamic State and Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee to subject MasoodAzhar to an arms embargo, travel ban and asset freeze in February. But such a move by the 15-member committee, which operates by consensus, was blocked by China. China had previously prevented the Sanctions Committee from imposing sanctions on Azhar in 2016 and 2017.
The chairperson of the UN Sanctions Committee, the permanent representative of Indonesia, has informed us that MasoodAzhar stands designated as an individual who has been promoting terrorism globally. This is for us a significant outcome because we have been at it for several years.
Jaish-e-Mohammed had claimed responsibility for a suicide bombing in India's Jammu and Kashmir on February 14th that killed at least 40 Indian security personnel. The attack led to increased tensions between India and Pakistan. MasoodAzhar's freedom within Pakistan has been a sore point in the relationship between Western countries and Pakistan and has led to repeated accusations by India that Islamabad uses and harbors terror groups to further its foreign policy agenda.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghan Special Envoy MasoodAzhar has called on the Taliban to listen to recommendations of the delegates gathered for a grand assembly in Kabul. Afghan government had invited Taliban for the Grand Consultative Jirga on Peace, which started on April 29th, to which the group denied.
Afghan President Ashraf Ghani's special envoy MasoodAzhar has called on the Taliban to listen to recommendations of the delegates of the Grand Consultative Jirga on Peace, which started on April 29th. Almost 3,200 delegates from across Afghanistan have attended the Jirga, aimed at determining the framework of peace talks with the Taliban. The Afghan government had invited the Taliban to attend the Grand Assembly or send a delegate, but the group rejected the invitation.
میتها بگذرانن و فردا گزارش‌دهی را آغاز کنن در اون صورت امکان داره که یک روز یا نیم روز تمدید شود وقت لوی جرگه.
The administrative board of Jirga was completed on Tuesday after all its members, including 5 deputies and 5 secretaries, were elected by the delegates at the end of the second day of the gathering. 4 women are also included in the 10-member administrative board.
A fun park in Afghanistan's capital Kabul has been offering locals a respite from turmoil since its inauguration. Made on the banks of the Kabul River in the heart of the city, the park has a number of fun rides including a Ferris wheel, a roller coaster and a bumper car.
Despite sustained security tensions in Afghanistan's capital Kabul, the country's first ever amusement park in the city has offered residents a brief respite from war. Nestled on the bank of the Kabul River in the heart of Kabul, the city park is jointly built by a private company and the municipal government. The park, covering 5.4 hectares, has a Ferris wheel, carousel, bumper cars, roller coaster, spinning teacups and even a mascot that's a dead ringer for Minnie Mouse.
مردم عموماً با جنگ و با جیگرخونی و هر روز انفجار و انتحار مطلقاً عادت کردن. ما من حیث کسی که اولین پارک در سطح کشور پارک میاری را ایجاد کردیم. امید ما هی است که مردم یک چند لحظه‌ای که میان خوش و خندان باشن، دور از سر و صداهای روزمره و انفجار انتحار بوی بارود.
Afghanistan has been embroiled in various conflicts for more than 30 years. With nearly 6 million people, Kabul is a virtual fortress. Major buildings are protected by tall concrete barriers and barbed wires, former thoroughfares and blocked to prevent suicide bombers from reaching potential targets like the presidential palace.
In news from Sri Lanka plans to reopen schools next week, the country's education minister said on Thursday, 2 weeks after the deadly bomb attacks on Easter Sunday. The minister said that 9,000 public schools across the nation will open on May 6th with stringent security measures.
Sri Lanka plans to reopen schools next week. The country's education minister said on Thursday, 2 weeks after the deadly bomb attacks on Easter Sunday. The 9,000 public schools across the nation will open on May 6 with stringent security measures, Minister Akila Viraj Kariyavasam told a news conference, adding that the decision was made after consultation with the security services. The minister, however, said Catholic schools might not be opened on the same time due to ongoing security warnings.
ආරක්ෂක අංශවලින් අපි ඉල්ලීම් කරනු ලැබුවා අධ්‍යාපන අමාත්‍යාංශයේ විදිහට අපිට නැවත පාසල් පටන් ගන්න නම් සියලුම පාසල් දැඩි ආරක්ෂා සහිතව ආරම්භ කළ යුතුයි. ඒ සඳහා සියලුම පාසල් අපිට පරීක්ෂාවට ලක් කරලා ආරක්ෂාව තහවුරු කරගෙන ඒ වගේම පාසල් ආරම්භ කරාට පසුව ඒ අවශ්‍ය ආරක්ෂාව අපිට ලබා දිය යුතුයි කියලා.
Security forces said they were maintaining a high level of alert amid intelligence reports that the militants were likely to strike before the beginning of the Islamic holy month of Ramadan, which is due to begin on Monday, the same day that schools reopen.
In news from Bangladesh, the long sandy beaches of Cox's Bazar stretching along Bangladesh's southeastern coast have become the hotspot for many surfers who come from different parts of the country to enjoy the new spot. Keen surfers can enjoy the best waves off the coast of Cox's Bazar during April to November season.
The long sandy beaches of Cox's Bazar, which stretch along Bangladesh's southeastern coast, have now become the hot spot for many surfers who come from different parts of the country to enjoy the new sport. A number of young boys and girls can be seen with their surfing boards enjoying themselves in the rising waves off the coast of the beach town. There are now a number of surfing clubs along the coast whose members have been able to test their skills in the water for the past 5 years in an annual competition held at the end of April.
আমি এখানে কক্সবাজার সার্ফিং করি আমাদের আজকে এখানে কম্পিটিশন অনেক ভালো লাগতেছে সবাইদেরকে দেখে অনেক ভালো লাগতেছে অনেক খুশি হচ্ছে আমাদের বসরা আমাদের টিচারের সার্ফিং শেখায় তাজন্য
So we came here 15 years ago and there was one surfer named Jafar Alam, and so we were able to teach and to train all these young boys and these young girls. They all learned English and now look at them, they're amazing citizens and they're amazing athletes and they're heroes here in Bangladesh. So we're really excited to one day see all these boys and girls participate in the Olympics.
The beach town is a popular tourism destination in the country and has gradually turned into one of the Indian subcontinent's prime surfing locations. Keen surfers can enjoy the best waves off the coast of Cox's Bazar during April to November season.
Two brothers who were blind by birth have become popular for their extraordinary skills in sewing fashionable and embroidered quilts in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir. Both the brothers earn their livelihood by making trendy quilts, cushions and mattresses.
Two Kashmiri brothers, Ghulam Nabi Teli and Muhammad Hussain, who were blind by birth, have become popular in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province for their extraordinary skills in sewing fashionable and embroidered quilts. Teli brothers, as they are popularly known in the valley, were trained at the National Institute for Visually Handicapped in India's northern hill town of Dehradun, where they learned various skills besides learning Braille, a writing system used by visually impaired people. With the help of their father, both the brothers earn their livelihood by making trendy quilts, cushions and mattresses. They receive sizable number of orders from local quilt dealers and their products are highly appreciated by the people.
ये हमारी सीखा थे फादर हमारी ये काम करते हैं वही के पास हमें सीखते हैं हमें ये बाज़ार भी लेते हैं ये काम बाज़ार भी इधर भी लोग आते हैं तो ये लेते हैं ये सीखने हमारी के लिए मुश्किल नहीं जो रोशनी वाली लोग हैं उसके लिए मुश्किल जिस वक्त जिस तरह हमें प्रॉब्लम आते हैं वो हमें फादर ये करते हैं ये गाइडेंस करते हैं कि ये ऐसे भी चलो ऐसे भी काम करो
खुशी है हम हाथ से मेहनत करता है मेहनत करने के बारे में हमारा दिल खुश बहुत खुश है लेकिन भीख मांगने का माँ बाप का इजाज़त नहीं बोला था मेहनत करो काम करो तो भीख मांगने की ज़रूरत नहीं
In their tiny shop near their home, the Teli brothers can be seen sewing mattress covers and filling cushion covers with cotton. They have become an inspiration for so many specially abled people who want to earn their livelihood themselves and live a decent life.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. India gears up as cyclone churns towards eastern coast. UN designates JEM chief MasoodAzhar as global terrorist. An Afghan special envoy calls on Taliban to listen to Jirga delegates. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.